So pivoting back to the losers bracket, we have in the losers round 5, ZNZZ bot versus Purple Wave. With Beta Star taking that last game, it moves on to the finals, and Locutus will drop down into the losers round 6 to play the winner of this round. For game 1, we are moving over to the OpenBW replay viewer, as this game in particular desyncs in remaster, so we're unable to cast it that way. We do have ZNZZ bot, the yellow Protoss, in the bottom left of Andromeda, and the blue Protoss, Purple Wave, up in the top right.
And pretty much the same thing as in the beginning. And a little bit of wrong way scouting going on from ZNZZ, and I think for Purple Wave too.
Let's see. I don't see a scout for Purple Wave just yet. At least not on the tiny mini-map. Oh, there it is.
That is it. That is it.
Scouting to the left. Okay.
And ZNZZ finally going to the right direction. And yeah, nothing too much to be scouted, as just starting the cybernetics.
Yep. And looks like the gas is still under construction here for ZNZZ, so Purple Wave getting that earlier gas than ZNZZ. They're both going with that one gate core.
No forge for either player, if I'm not very much mistaken.
Dragoon on the way for Purple Wave.
And another goon for ZNCC as well. So the army is pretty much equal at this point. Scouting shut down from Purple Wave, but Purple Wave is answering that with a Citadel of Adun. So that's gonna be a DT play because we don't have Zealots out yet.
Yep, and we don't see more gateways coming down, actually, it looks like, for ZNZZ, so not getting that robotics facility. Probably not going to get detection ahead unless it's able to scout that this is looking like a DT play.
Temporal Archives are almost done. And the forge from Purple Wave, not ZNZZ. And ZNZZ will need that forge very, very, very soon.
Maybe Purple Wave is trying to say, hey, I think you should build a forge, so I will build it for you. You don't need to get one.
I spot you a forge, bro. And the two DTs are finished, and in the meantime ZNZ's army is moving out a little bit, at least that's what I saw in the minimap.
Yep.
Little bits of skirmish going on here.
Chasing out the Zealot and 2 goons that Purple Wave had here. But they're going to run into the DT that's out pretty soon, and there is a second one out as well now for Purple Wave. Speed this up just a little bit here as they chase back here to the main. Getting a hit or two off on that Zealot there.
Forge is getting it at the second that they spot the DT. But the two DTs are already at the ramp, and they start just killing the ZNZZ arm.
Yeah, I like that ZNZZ there had blocked his ramp up with the Dragoons, but I also like that Purple Wave maybe... Oh, yep, recognizing that, hey, I can't get up there, I'm just going to attack the units that are here.
Yeah, that's a very cost-effective DT play already, and who knows what they can do when they finally get up.
Now we have 4 DTs in play for Purple Wave, dealing some heavy damage to these goons, but they're buying a lot of time for these cannons to finish.
And buying a lot of time for Purple Wave as well, let's not forget that. And Purple Wave is expanding in the background. I think that's just the natural yet. Yes,
Yep, just finishing up.
So it's already a 2 versus 1 base situation. And these, yet again, we see this boogeyman build from the DT, where they don't actually do anything, just wander around, but that's scary enough.
And I'm willing to bet that's the observatory there that's being built. They could take that out. They can attack that without being in detection range, but they're just gonna, you know, let it finish. And instead attack the Dragoons that are coming out.
So this DT play is not immediately fatal for ZNZZ, and the observatory just stands, and we have robotics a little bit down, so that means that observer will eventually gets me.
Yep, and it's just starting now. And meanwhile, Purple Wave is throwing down a couple more gateways so he can start pumping out that army a little more effectively. Sitting back on the 2 bases so far.
And yeah, Purple is moving out. Either, as you said before, this is the time to either make an army or expand. And Purple Wave is doing the make an army option.
Yeah.
And 2 versus 1 base, yeah, you can pretty much afford that strategy wise. And the observer is just going out to the map, not even caring about what it is.
Well, there is the 1 Dragoon that's out there, so he's just making sure that he survives. But he's going to be met with other Dragoons, so it's not going to end very well. And I think Purple Wave lost a Dragoon in there.
I think the Dragoon just bribed the observer.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I meant that Purple Wave lost a DT in the base. Now it just lost another one.
Oh, yeah. And the last DT is out for Purple Wave, but still, these DTs caused considerable economic harm as they just prevented ZNZZ from expanding.
And ZNZZ here is staying in its main, pretty scared to move out. Purple Wave poking in, but I think ZNZZ has an army to hold this off for now at least.
Yeah, and Purple Wave is retreating from the ramp. That might be a mistake, as attacking up the ramp is always the hardest thing.
Yeah, and while Purple Wave does have the higher Dragoon count overall, I don't know that, yeah, all the Dragoons are not here, whereas for ZNZZ, all 12 goons are basically there in the fight.
Is Purple Wave expanding somewhere?
It doesn't look... Whoop. Yeah, it doesn't look like it yet, but now this probe, I wonder if he's coming up to build a nexus here.
It is quite likely, as what else?
Nope. It is
well, I don't know what else that's the drone's doing, but with a probe, but...
Now we do have a bit of a fight going on here at the natural. Looks like ZNZZ is trying to get in some breathing room here, able to push back Purple Wave a little bit, but then retreating himself.
And Purple Wave having a large bank here, but not having too much gas. And yeah, just making as many goons as possible. As soon as Purple Wave has enough gas, it makes a goon.
Yeah, I mean, and he has enough minerals too for like 2 expansions if he wanted to take them, so...
And this is exactly the time when you should take it. As we discussed before, containing your enemy is... one of the main functions of containing your enemy is that you can safely expand behind.
Yeah, I mean, right now, with the defender's advantage in this setup, I don't think he can break ZNZZ, but he could happily just expand at this point and then be able to produce the army to just come in and smash ZNZZ. But instead, he's going here to try and push for the kill.
But putting some pressure on ZNZZ is already probably enough. But yet again, retreating back on the ramp. No, that's not what you should do. I think even if you just stay and throw away your... Well, not throw away your army, but just stand and fight, that will be more advantageous economically in this exact situation.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, like, if ZNZZ can't take his natural, even if they keep trading like this, Purple Wave is probably going to come out on top just because he has the natural and the extra minerals. It looks like he is getting a third now. Yep, at the mineral only.
Yeah, finally. And a fourth as well in the middle right.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
see
that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did not see that. The production tab is so long, I missed it.
Yeah, and now a lot of zealots, and that's a good choice, I think, because Purple Wave has just too many minerals. But
well,
you never can have too many.
Just a little bit ago, he had too many minerals. Now he's down to like 100 and 200, so he's finally spending them now that he's taking those 2 expansions and getting those zealots. Oh, and we're getting High Templar.
Zealot plus Goon is much better than pure Goon in a straight matchup.
And just checking really quick too, Purple Wave has the leg upgrade and the +1 attack, and is getting Psystorm.
I wonder why the +1 upgrade is only deemed important on Zealots. I mean, I can understand it in certain matchups, especially in PvZ, but it's not like goons don't benefit from extra damage.
Yeah, I think it most builds are optimized around that in that, you know, if that +1 gives you one less hit against a particular unit that you're going to be facing, then it's worth getting. And if it doesn't, then typically you don't get it or you get it a lot later.
Yeah, but these small advantages count a lot, and an upgrade costs like 1 dragoon's cost or something like that, or around that. So uh, I think that many bots don't consider upgrades as important as I deem them.
Yeah, and something that I've noticed here too is that, you know, so Purple Wave finally took those 2 expansions and then was able to get the army to push in and actually stay pushed in. Like, while he's still being repelled a bit here by ZNZZ, he didn't run all the way back out of the natural and, you know, at the choke of the natural like he was before. He's
Yeah,
able to sustain the attack.
he's maintaining the siege and definitely gaining some ground, but even if he's not, eventually ZNZZ will just run out of resources, and the main
Yeah.
is very low already, and it's just 1 base versus 4. It's just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see if CNZZ could have, with all of the resources that it has banked, maybe try and take this mineral only, maybe try and throw zealots into the mix. I don't know that they would have been very effective, but it would have been something to see it try at least. Instead of getting stuck in the, oh, I can't take my natural, so I'm just going to sit here.
I think even just making like 8 cannons could have helped tremendously on the high ground. I mean, cannons fall off a lot as the game progresses, but they still count for something.
And it really wanted those 2 cannons there because it kept rebuilding them in the exact same spot. And it's still doing that.
Yeah, we see that a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit because this is, I think, pretty decided for Purple Wave at this point.
Yes, this game is, as I usually say, it's a foregone conclusion. So this will go to Purple Wave, I think.
Yeah.
You can speed it up to the maximum, I think.
All right.
So yeah, game 1 is goes to Purple Wave. And this is the second game between Purple Wave and ZNZZ in the losers round. Purple Wave, yet again confusingly not getting the purple color in the top left-ish position, being green, and being purple is ZNZZ in the top right-ish position.
Perhaps ZNZZ is trying to confuse its opponent, Purple Wave, by being the purple Protoss.
Yeah, maybe they don't fire on other purple things. That would be reasonable.
That would actually be hilarious to see something like that programmed into a bot. Not very good for tournaments, but good for amusement.
It's like, or if your opponent is Purple Wave, you just write in the chat that sorry, I could never hurt you then, and throw the game.
That would be pretty incredible.
Yeah, it would get you banned super fast, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That might cause collusion accusations there, but would be pretty funny to see.
Yeah.
Now, we do have, it looks like a similar build, although Purple Wave Cyber Core, I think, came out a little bit sooner.
1 Zealot for Purple Wave out. I don't see any army units for ZNZZ so far.
Yep, so ZNZC is going with no Zealot with its 1 gate core.
I like that how the scouting probe just went and the Zealot just performed a drive-by stabbing on it.
Just one little poke, like, hey, I see you there, just so you know. Gotta give it that acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Now, we do have a Citadel of Adun finishing up, as well as Goon Range. And also, oh, that was for ZNZZ, that's right, now the colors are confusing me. Purple Wave is now getting a Citadel too, but slower.
Yeah. And that Citadel is not spotted yet. I think it's not scouted from either player. So will we see Dark Templars duking it out?
Uh, Possibly. Yeah, it looks like we've got the Templar archives. Although, Purple Wave, or sorry, ZNZZ did get a forge.
Both
So,
players have a forge now, and Purple Wave just attacking with goons because ZNZZ has no army.
yeah, I think ZNZZ lost the army units that it did have to Purple Waves. I'm really getting confused by the colors this game, just FYI.
And Purple Wave is killing the observatory, and that means that DTs might be still in play. And yes, indeed, one DT is coming out. But if the previous game is any indication, that DT was just will just there.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
And indeed,
It is dancing again. I'm wondering though, if ZNZZ was going for a Dark Templar play, and then maybe we missed it, and it did scout that Purple Wave was also going for a DT play, so it just instantly pivoted to detection, cannons, observers, to counter, and just gave up what it was originally planning on doing, because that Citadel hasn't done anything.
I think that's a likely scenario. And Purple Wave also pivoting, just pulling back the army and defending the natural from a counterattack. And a counterattack is indeed coming, but it's a smaller army, so maybe Purple Wave is overly defensive here. And these goons are derping out on the natural again.
Yeah, they're
Mom, the goons are being weird again.
they are famous for that. But yeah, Purple Wave easily repelling this with the larger army. Purple Wave,
The observer,
or sorry, go ahead.
is falling behind.
Yep.
So the DT just outruns the detections. It's just next level tactics.
Purple Wave is just really ahead here. I think with the unit damage that it did early, even with retreating, it got its natural up faster than ZNZZ. And then ZNZZ just kind of ran its army for no reason to that bridge.
Yeah, ZNZZ just threw away its army, we should say. And at this point, Purple Wave just can win this with brute force. Although attacking up in a ramp is not wise. Another thing is not what is not wise is doing a worker transfer across the enemy army.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully the goons were able to push forward enough to defend the worker transfer, but transferring to a base that's under attack that you've not successfully repelled the attack is a little bit dangerous. And now this DT...
And the DT just arrived.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many kills is that? 8 kill, 9 kill, 10 kills so far.
I think that's 11 now.
Yeah, I think...
13.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that was a very economic DT.
definitely did its damage. And it's still... And ZNZZ is still sending probes 2 at a time to their death.
Oh, yes. That's how you deplete your economy.
And High Templars are now out. Storm coming, a third base for Purple Wave.
Is it the so-called trickle-down economy when your probes trickle down the ramp and down?
Perhaps you might be able to call it that. Yeah, this game it's looking like is going for Purple Wave again.
That's a very clear win for Purple Wave, and we forgot to mention that Purple Wave double expanded in the meantime, but I don't think it mattered a lot.
Yeah.
And Purple Wave's units on the map keeping up the scouting, I like that.
Yeah, it's scouting pretty much the entire map at this point while cleaning up, so that is cool to see.
Yeah, Purple Wave was clearly in control all the time.
Yep, and taking it to 2-0. So game 3 between ZNZZ and Purple Wave in the losers bracket here. We have ZNZZ in the top left, orange Protoss, with Purple Wave the red Protoss top right on Empire of the Sun. So no purple Protosses this time. I will be a lot less confused on who is who.
I will be still confused. I will do that instead of you.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we have to share the work, right?
Exactly. So let's see. Alright, we have similar pylon timing here. ZNZZ out with the scout already.
No fast expansion from either player.
I don't...
Although that's not really what Purple Wave did in any of the matches, if I remember correct.
Yeah, I don't know that you see fast expansions too often in PvP. At least with the bots, I don't see it very often.
No, I don't think so either. And Purple Wave is scouting the wrong way now. I think it's a 4-player map, right?
Yeah. Spawns in each
So,
of the corners.
so yeah. And now Purple Wave is going into the right direction.
Yep. And Purple Wave got his gas and cybernetics core before ZNZZ, but ZNZZ does have the Zealot out this time, whereas Purple Wave just got a Zealot out now.
Yeah, one Zealot is not gonna make a big difference. And yet again, drive-by stabbing by the guarding Zealot.
I think that one or two Zealots that they often get at the beginning of the game is just in case the other opponent is going goon aggression immediately. You kind of need that one Zealot to help hold.
Yeah, it's just buying time. It's not,
Yeah.
not something that decides large-scale engagement, of course.
Unless
And
the opponent proxy gates or something along those lines.
Goon range is starting for ZSZ. Did we have a goon range for Purple Wave, actually?
I'm not sure.
I don't think we had.
Unfortunately, that's one thing we can't check with the remaster replay viewers, what's already researched.
Yeah, it's an obvious flaw, I would say. And
We do have cannons coming down for ZNZZ. So,
but no,
oh, he saw the Citadel and was assuming Dark Templar tech, which is coming out because there is a archives now and a couple of DT. So that is a correct assumption for him.
yeah, nicely defended. Although I don't know the cannon placement, how good it will.
Yeah, they seem to, what I've noticed from the bots today, they really value protecting their mineral line when it comes to DTs.
That's not a bad decision by itself, but you should protect other places too. I mean, they are not mutually exclusive. And these DTs are out, and yeah, an observer is already out. How did it get out so fast?
ZNZZ has improved. They are learning. They are growing.
Yeah, and Goon range is starting for Purple Wave.
Ah.
So yeah, he indeed did not have a Goon range. And ZZZ has a considerable army here. I think Purple Wave is a little bit of a disadvantage, although Purple Wave has 2 bases. And another gateway is just getting done, but I think Purple Wave needs more gateways.
Yeah, I think if ZNZZ pushed here, he could probably do some damage if he did some good targeting on those DTs to take them out quickly. Although the cannons are going to be a little bit of a problem. And it also doesn't help Purple Wave when his army wants to just crowd around the cannon and not actually
I think
engage.
ZNZZ could break this. I sincerely think that ZNZZ can bust this if he plays it right. Playing it right... And what is Purple Wave doing actually? Making goons? Yeah, CNCC could just very well break this.
He's trying to get an army, but he just doesn't have the minerals or gas really for... I mean, he's got the
It
3
seems
gates and
so.
they're producing, but... ZNCZ, how many gates is he? He's pumping off of 4 gates, and Purple Wave's only pumping off of 2. So Purple Wave went tech and expand, whereas ZNZZ bot went tech and army, and is attacking before Purple Wave's expand can really help him out here.
Yeah, indeed, and the goon count was just too high for ZNCC.
It looks like ZNZZ is actually gonna survive in the tournament and take this to a game 4.
Yeah, that's a surprising outcome. Based on the past 2 games, I mean. But yeah, scouting the DT tech in time, and Purple Wave, I think Purple Wave didn't have enough gateways. That's one of, I mean, it's just a 3 versus 4 gateway. It's not even a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, probably the mistake here was with Purple Wave putting those resources into that expansion. He just didn't have the resources to keep up an army. So basically the DT play failed, and then he didn't have anything to fall back to counter the larger army.
I think as soon as he spotted the observers, he should have built up an army.
Probably. And with that, it'll be 2-1 in favor of Purple Wave. But going on to game 4 with ZNZZ holding on.
And this is the fourth game of the losers round 5 between ZNZZ bot and Purple Wave. ZNZZ in the top left corner being green, Purple Wave in the bottom right corner, right across the map being white here.
I think in all of these games we've seen Purple Wave go DT tech. I wonder if we'll see anything different this game with it having lost the last one.
Yeah, and maybe Purple Wave was a little bit lucky in the previous games, as we saw that as soon as ZNZZ spots either a Citadel or a DT itself, it immediately starts defending.
Yeah, if Purple Wave can keep the scout from seeing that, then he has a good chance of dealing the damage he needs to with the DT tech. Now we do see Purple Wave again getting the gas prior to ZNZZ doing so.
And Purple Wave scouting the wrong way. But that's mostly inconsequential, I think. The probe will find its intended scouting location soon enough and just in time to spot anything.
Yep. Now let's see. So ZNZZ's probe is going to get in before Purple Wave's Zealot could get in place. So if Purple Wave puts his tech down while that probe's in there, ZNZZ is going to see it again.
Purple
Although
Wave's probe is just derping out.
ZNZZ could also run his probe out before seeing anything too. So
And Citadel is started, and I don't see a forge from ZNZZ.
yeah, ZNZZ, his probe left the main before that Citadel went down.
That seems to be a soon-to-be costly mistake.
Yeah, as the Templar Archive comes down now, though a forge is going down. So
Yeah. Maybe ZNZZ just thinks, okay, I'm making cannons just in case.
I mean, he did encounter DTs every game so far. So yeah, it may just be, I've been getting DT'd by this person. I'm getting defense against it.
And indeed, that is what's happening here. 2 cannons plop down on the mineral line, and Purple Wave is not expanding actually.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes Purple Wave... Oh, now he's expanding. He'll get that natural pylon a fair bit before the Nexus goes down.
And this might very well play out like it did the previous game, but the map is a little bit different this time. That could be a fact.
Yeah, the Observer is out, so ZNZZ with the 1 base army against the Purple Wave, who went for an expansion, so he basically has a 2 base army off of a 1 base economy.
Indeed, and yet again, ZNZZ just has the army advantage here. Although the cannons matter a lot, and even though the DT did not do much damage, they can defend against that quite well.
Yep, and the cannons are holding this time, whereas last time the cannons fell very quickly. But
no, the army advantage is not as
yeah
big as it was last time, and maybe the DTs are a little bit. I'm not saying better micro because the logic is probably the same, but in a more advantageous position. But this is not over, and it seems that 4 goons might just as well get in. The cannons fall, but the DTs are still out, and for some reason
they're not targeting them.
They're not focusing. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the Observer out still, but I think they might have been trying to get into the main to try and deal like economic damage or something, but that just left them open to the DTs.
And the cannon should kill the Observer.
Yep.
And now it's a little bit harder position, but I think another Observer will get made very soon.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely forces ZNZZ's army to fall back, but yeah, as soon as he replaces that Observer, which he's just started, he can once again move out. But this buys Purple Wave a lot of time. He's now getting his 4th gateway, and that economy from that natural is going to kick in.
Yeah, it's a proper 2-base economy, and I don't think ZNZZ can push back that easily. Although ZNZZ has a considerable army, but yet again the Dark Templars can decimate that army, and Yeah, they are doing
And-
that. The observer is out, but I think one or two goon kills might get. No, they are.
Or, well, look, they just don't want to. They want to just damage these DTs, but not actually kill them for some reason.
Just teach them a lesson, but don't kill them.
You see, maybe they're just, well, 2 kills and 5 kills. Maybe they're just like very fearful of that 7 kill count.
Yeah.
ZNZZ is staying on one base too this whole time. He does have the minerals where he could expand.
Yeah, I think he should expand at this point.
But he is pushing with the army. But Purple Wave
but-
has a sizable army this time.
I think the army sizes are comparable, and Purple Wave still has, well, I wouldn't call it defender's advantage, but Purple Wave has nothing to lose with an attack.
As ZNZZ being forced to fall back just a little bit here because I think Purple Wave definitely has the advantage. I think he might have like 1 or 2 more goons. I mean, they're about the same supply if you don't take the probes into account.
It's 10 versus 10 goons, but ZNZZ has the high ground advantage. I fell for a second when Purple Waves has the high ground advantage.
Yeah, it's like whichever one pokes forward is going to lose that advantage, so they just don't want to give it up. And ZNZZ is now taking his natural. He's got the assimilator set up, getting a cannon as well there.
Will we see a late game development? Because maybe we will see this game something else than goon.
Yep, and it looks like Purple Wave is now getting Zealot speed, so he's going to, I think, transition Zealots into his army here pretty soon, like we've seen him do in past games.
Yeah, Zealot, then some Templars. At least that was the result in the last game.
And he's trading really well here, I think, with ZNZZ. ZNZZ's poking forward a little bit and then losing some goons that Purple Wave is able to more quickly replace. Also, on the gateway count, I think Purple Wave outnumbers ZNZZ now and is even throwing down more gateways.
Yes, indeed. No further expansion from either player, and Purple Wave could afford now to expand. But actually, Purple Wave's economy is, well, I should say that ZNZZ's economy is catching up.
Yeah, now with that second in place and getting saturated, that's going to help him a lot. But Purple Wave now, he's going to start sinking those minerals. They're dropping very fast as he's now pumping out Zealots. And so now that he's pushing ZNZZ back, we'll probably see a third get taken pretty soon here, I'm thinking.
And the Zealots will change this matchup a lot. And like we discussed before, pure Goon versus Zealot Goon, it's, yeah, Zealot Goon will win. This is not really turning out great for Purple Wave, I think.
So unfortunately, the remaster viewing of the replay desynced on us, so we'll have to cut over to OpenBW. We're jumping in right about the point where the desync happened, which was right when Purple Wave was making the big push into ZNZZ's natural with the Dragoon army. As you can see, ZNZZ has the main and natural, and actually starting a third that I'm just noticing now. And Purple Wave is on his main and natural at this point. So we'll go ahead and hit play and resume the match from here.
A lot of Zealots being made for Purple Wave, but they are not present for this particular engagement.
Yeah, Purple Wave, I think just prior to this, was floating a lot of minerals and then just sunk them all into those Zealots. But like you said, he's doing this push before the Zealots actually finished, so they're not there to help yet.
Well, that's what we see right before it desynced, so let's just watch it again. Now the Zealots actually seem to be in an advantageous position, although taking a lot of the fire, but still that's kind of their job.
Yeah, they're kind of the plasma ball sponges for the enemy Dragoons.
But still, the Purple Wave attack is repelled, and now we see some Templars being made from Purple Wave. And Purple Wave also took a third base right
Yep.
over the main.
Taking that third base. Meanwhile, pressing still into the natural with that Goon Zealot mix army here. And also replenishing some of the goons that it's losing in this fighting.
And ZNZZ retreating to the low ground might not be the best decision.
Yeah, meanwhile, Purple Wave is getting weapon and armor upgrade, as well as energy for the High Templars, as he does have Storm. And we've got the worker transfer happening amid the battle as well.
But no one cares about that, it seems. And now we have some storms. At least some Templars out. Do we have storm? Oh yeah.
Did get one off there.
And that's a nice storm, doing a lot of damage, but I think the Templar just died.
Yeah, there's still a Dark Templar though, but he can't storm.
And he is spotted, I think. Do we have an observer?
Yeah, there's a little one there.
I think. With the transparent observer, it's so hard to spot. I mean, so hard to tell the actual color of the observer.
Yeah, that might be one advantage to the older graphics, is it's a little bit easier to see the coloring on the observer.
That's correct. That's correct. And it is hard to tell who is winning this engagement. I would say neither of the players.
Yeah, they're trading pretty evenly at this point. Purple Wave is expanding though again. So I guess the one area where Purple Wave is gaining with this fighting is map control. He's keeping ZNZZ back and able to just do whatever he wants across the map.
But while this is happening, ZNZZ's third base is undisturbed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Purple Wave knows about it, or maybe he's just discovered it now.
I think that's what happened here. And yeah, the Dark Templar is finally reaping all the probes. And with that, an economic upswing will go Purple Waves away, if that makes sense. Although there is this sizable goon army, and that you shouldn't just discount that. Oh, and some Templars coming in.
Oh, nice storms.
I think that was triple storm.
Yeah, I mean, the storms were maybe a little more overlapping than I'd like, but that was very nice because the Dragoons didn't know how to escape the storm, so it looked like they were all just kind of stumbling.
And it was like they are almost dead already, and we see that the Zealots closing in and killing them in 1 or 2 stabs. So even though ZNZZ has a large army left, they are probably not that fit. They are probably unhealthy, unshielded Dragoons.
Yeah, I mean, there is a group that's pretty fresh right here, but yeah, I think that's it. The rest of the army is pretty much fallen at this point.
But a lot of army melted for ZNZZ, and Purple Wave is just double in supply by now.
Yeah, while Purple Wave's having to fall back, he's got the production to bounce back from this, I think, pretty easily.
I don't know how ZNZZ is keeping up, to be honest, but he seems to have a lot of goons all the time.
Yeah, I mean, well,
the main is mined out.
Yeah, the main is mined out. He's got a large number of gateways, though.
Do we still have anything on ZNZZ's third base? Because the Dark Templar was, somehow that base still mining, although with just 3 probes.
Yeah, earlier I noticed that all the probes have been wiped out. I think he cleared, or Purple Wave cleared all the workers, but then was forced to kind of pull back and deal with this large goon army that moved out in the middle.
Yeah, and some workers got remade. That makes sense.
But I think Purple Wave is just going to be able to eventually clean this up, though.
Purple Wave is definitely much more ahead in macro, and yeah. But somehow ZNZZ always keeps a good goon core together, and that's good. And this base is undefended from that angle, so Purple Wave might just lose a lot of workers here as well.
But there are some units. The Zealots are trying to clean it up, but it'll take them a little bit longer.
Yeah, and there is no help coming for ZNZZ. I think the flow of reinforcements just stopped.
Yeah, I mean,
ZNZZ barely having any money, and just 2 mining bases, and one of them is not even properly saturated. And I don't know what those Templars are doing besides dying.
They might be low on energy at the moment, I think.
Then you should become an Archon. I mean, that's what pro players do for most of the time.
So Purple Wave able to repel that attack. And looks like he's moving back into position now. Did ZNZZ? Oh no, that's Purple Wave. I thought that was ZNZZ for a second, trying to take another base somewhere. Like, where is he getting the minerals for that?
I think this is the final push. It's just I don't see ZNZZ repelling this.
Yeah, I don't either.
There is no production left now. ZNZZ is just trying to replace probes, but with a lot of money.
Yeah, Purple Wave is just running away with this game. ZNZC put up a really good fight in this game, but I think just that contain by Purple Wave was just enough to let him gain the economic and productive advantage to just overrun ZNZZ in the long run.
Yeah, that's probably a good summary of this matchup. And with that, I think it's 3-1 score, and Purple Wave takes the losers round final.
Yep. And so Purple Wave will then go to face, I believe it's Locutus in the final losers round to see who will move into the final to play Beta Star, if I'm remembering right. So the losers round 6, potentially the final round for the losers bracket, we have Purple Wave, who just moved on after taking ZNZZ 3-1, up against Locutus, who fell 3-2 to Beta Star in the semifinals. So we have Locutus in the top right as the red Protoss, and Purple Wave as the teal Protoss in the bottom right of Empire of the Sun.
Yeah, and let's just speed this up and see, speed up the initial stages, because no one cares about that at this point. We saw what these bots can do, and at these early stages of PvP, and we have PvP all the way. It's not, cannot be that different. And that is a Forge and a Wall off by Locutus in the upper corner.
Yep, I think we saw him do that in one of the games, the last game against Beta Star too, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, and basically he's the only one who's doing that on a more consistent basis. I mean, I think ZNZZ did it one time, maybe. For Purple Wave.
And Purple Wave is getting a natural quickly here. So he saw the cannons and is reacting by saying, you know what, you're not going to have an army, so I'm going to take my natural.
Yep, very nicely done. And one basically scouting salad is out. Goon range started for Purple Wave, no goon range for Locutus as well. And that's a proxy 2 gate.
Yep, he's going for the proxy gates again. Hopefully the Dragoons will not get stuck this time around.
Yeah, and that is a very good answer, I think, here, because Purple Wave is kind of undefended, but Locutus is very low on resources, it seems.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's basically doing one base with 4 gateways, so he's going to be able to spend those resources, definitely, but he's also invested 400 minerals instead of in a Nexus, essentially, into 4 cannons, plus the 150 for the initial Forge, but he is getting the +1 attack on his ground weapons.
And these army from Purple Wave will not break this contain, will not break this defense, and in the meantime Locutus is just gathering a hidden army, and that proxy 3 gate is not scouted. So potentially this could pay off in a huge way.
Yeah, and Purple Wave does have the 2 cannons up front, so that'll help him a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting once those Dragoons move to see how this works out for Locutus.
I think Purple Wave could make a mistake by engaging right now, and well, committing to the engagement, I should say, because even if he breaks this, he won't be able to destroy the main of Locutus, and this is the point when Locutus should move out.
Yeah, Locutus definitely needs to do something with his Dragoons, and he's just not.
It's not. It's having 8 goons, and yeah, this is the point when you should move out, because eventually Purple Wave will break this wall.
And now they are moving down.
Yeah,
okay.
This is the point. Well, not all of them, but
they're trying.
Maybe eventually go, and I think this is a good timing. The question is, will the 3 goons at Locutus's base will turn around? I think turning them around would be a mistake at this point. But Locutus does not have that big of an advantage, but I think he can break this natural.
Yeah, I mean, Purple Wave is working out of all of his gateways, Dragoons, but they're not coming out in sync, so they're just kind of coming out one at a time and running into the Locutus army and dying it. It looks like Purple Wave's army is splitting up a bit here. Oh, yeah, so he's pulling his goons back slowly, but still leaving one there at the gate of Locutus.
And Purple Wave did a sneaky expansion in the bottom left corner. Let's not forget that.
I didn't even notice that.
That might be a costly mistake because Purple Wave needs a lot of resources to defend this, and it seems that Locutus can keep up the local overwhelming force and killing a lot of workers. But Locutus himself does not have a lot of workers. Let's not forget that.
It looks
and
like Locutus...
Well, I don't know what to say at this point, to be honest.
Well, I think Locutus has got this game now, because Purple Wave is just kind of throwing money away into cannons that just very quickly get shot down. Purple Wave probably should have given up on this natural and just kind of tried to build up a goon army in the main, especially with that sneaky bottom left base. He could afford to lose the natural.
Yeah, especially with the third base.
Yeah, so I think Purple Wave's decision-making there cost him this game.
Well, it's not over yet, but yeah, it's likely. But Purple Wave, oh no, Purple Wave does not have the economic advantage anymore. Even with that hidden base, Purple Wave is just not ahead anymore.
Yeah, and a probe
Yeah,
just came
you're
over
right.
from the hidden base, and I bet it's going to build... Oh, it built a cannon. I thought it was going to build a Nexus at the natural.
Yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah, Locutus taking the economic advantage, and this is the point of no return.
Yeah, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. While he does have that bottom left base, I think this is pretty safe to call for Locutus at this point.
I think so too. And yeah, we cast a lot of games today, and we are still not at the finals.
Yeah, and we definitely want to give the finals the time it deserves as well.
Definitely, and it's not like, not that we don't want to show every interesting moment, but let's just speed up the boring moment.
Gotcha. So with that, Locutus is going to go up 1.
And this is Locutus versus Purple Wave, the second game of the losers round final, which will determine which of these gentle bots will face the finals beta star. Okay, that sentence was a little bit mangled. I'm like the Michael Scott of casting, but anyway, this is Locutus in the bottom right corner with the red color, and the top right corner, it's Purple Wave, who is being white yet again.
Yep, and I enjoy how you called them gentle bots.
That's actually a phrase I learned from Nepeta, so I can take credit.
And it looks like we're getting a similar play. Maybe we'll see that proxy again because we see the Forge first again for Locutus.
Let's not forget that these bots have strong learning capabilities, so it is very likely that they won't make the same mistake twice.
True, Purple Wave will most likely... Oh, he's going for the fast expansion again, but he's found the proxy though this time.
Yeah. I don't know if that was learning, but yeah, no proxy for you, Locutus.
Yeah, that might have just been kind of lucky, like seeing the probe going that way and chasing it.
Yeah, that gateway should have been cancelled. That's some minerals thrown out the window.
It'll be nice to see how Locutus responds to its proxy being discovered. Looks like it's throwing another gateway down in the main to go up onto 2 gates now.
Yeah, and Purple Wave taking the opportunity to expand. And yeah, Locutus is at a disadvantage now, although the cannons will hold for a long time, and they are in high grounds. That's even more of an advantage.
Yeah, Purple Wave really needs to just kind of delay that natural for Locutus as long as possible and not really try to poke the main while building its economic advantage back home to be able to overcome those cannons on the high ground.
I think Purple Wave can have a local superiority and just keep the contain up. That's all you need to do. Keep the contain up and macro up in the background, and just run in and mop up everything.
Yeah, and I mean it helps to him, or it helps Purple Wave too, that Locutus is just sending goons one at a time to their doom.
Yeah, what's up in that? Well, two at the time this time, but still.
It is getting its 4th gateway now, I believe, or no, 5th gateway actually.
Purple Wave expanding in the background. It's third, but it's not a 3 versus. Well, Lokitus is kind of breaking out, but I don't think Lokitus is trading favorably. I mean, there is a little bit of a concave going on from Purple Wave, and fighting down a ramp is while not as bad as fighting up in a one. It's still not the best thing you can do.
And I think, I mean, Locutus is also able to kind of whittle down that army a bit more because Purple Wave was diverting his resources into expanding. And so he's able to push it back, but I think Purple Wave is just maybe going to be able to deny this natural a little bit longer.
Probably as the third base is just getting up. Well, but Purple Wave's army is, well, it's kind of equal, but they are not denying the natural anymore.
Yeah, Purple Wave is a little bit above in supply if you take the probes into account.
I think this is the point when Purple Wave should just make much more gateways than it had already.
Yeah, it does look like it's throwing down at least one more, but yeah, if it did a macro explosion here, it would run over Locutus very easily.
But Locutus is not taking the natural expansion. That could be the saving grace for Purple Wave. But yeah, Locutus trading favorably, and I think Locutus's micro is a little bit better. It seems to me, although it's just a subjective impression, that yeah.
Well, right there, definitely in that retreat,
Yes.
Purple
yes.
Wave was not doing itself any favors.
No, Locutus is very deliberate with the goon movements, and the straggling conga line is not really something that Locutus does often. I mean, it happens.
And now that Locutus has pushed Purple Wave all the way back to his natural, Locutus is going ahead and taking his.
Yeah, so this can turn around. Although I think Purple Wave is expanding yet again. I see a pro.
So jumping back into Open BW, as you saw, it desynced in an interesting way I've not seen it do before, where it actually just paused the game on us. In the replay, we had no way of resuming it from there. So we're going to jump into this here, as you can see, back in Open BW. I suspect Purple Wave is the culprit here, because it's only broken during their games.
Purple Wave, what did you do? So yes, that was a weird thing, but this is not the time I'm particularly fond of exploring new Brood War bugs, but it is what it is. So we were stopping at this big goon battle, and in the meantime Locutus just got up its natural in the background. But Purple Wave at this point has at least 4 bases, maybe more, and just can keep throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But another gateway is being made for Locutus, actually, not Purple Wave. I expected that Purple Wave will throw off some more.
Yeah, well, Purple Wave is exploding in the Zealot department now. Losing a lot of goons, though, because of this bridge and this nice concave here by Locutus.
But it's even like... even if you lose 2 goons for every one you kill, Purple Wave can afford it at this point. It's just Purple Wave what Purple Wave is lacking is production speed, I should say. Purple Wave needs more gateways. I don't know if he built any more in the background.
Yeah, I think I've seen him doing some teching work, so I think he's focusing on that as opposed to upping up. And I hear DTs. Oh, DTs are in the natural. Or at least one is.
Oh, when did that happen?
Doing some damage.
Yeah, and more DTs are streaming in, and I don't see any detection from Locutus's part.
Yeah, I suspect this is a cannon, this building here. Yep.
Yes, it is.
So now the natural is going to be defended there from that. But Purple Wave, like you were saying, I think he did take this upper left here. So he has taken another expansion.
And now a little bit of derp going on. So let's speed this up a little bit more.
Sure. So, because yeah, Locutus is afraid of the DTs because I don't think he has observer tech.
Oh, that was a nasty slaughter and a nice storm here.
Yeah.
And we have a shuttle river combo even, but it's just not getting past the bridge. I think at this point maybe you should consider going around, and that river will derp out, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the High Templars, though, are doing some work because Locutus's goons are bunching up here. Meanwhile, it looks like Purple Wave on the minimap has taken another base. And it looks like he's actually able to push Locutus back into the natural here. But then Locutus is able to repel it. Oh, the Observer went down, though, and there is still a Dark Templar out.
Eventually enough storms and river shots will land, and I think the main of Locutus is out, it's without looking I can tell. And
Yeah.
Yep, that means one mining base left, and that base is just being threatened. And when it's threatened by two rivers and, well, everything, and the kitchen sink, it's just...
It's pretty much is. I mean, all we need to see are some Archons and Dark Archons in here, and
I don't know, we see almost every unit in the game at this point.
the only thing we don't have is the air units.
Yeah, you should make more scouts and just...
But yeah, like you were saying, the base advantage that Purple Wave had here, he is just able to just keep sending units to try and cross that bridge. And even though it wasn't successful, he could just keep sending them.
Yeah, it's basically Red Army tactics at this point, and Purple Wave is taking the second game, making the score 1-1, if I'm...
So game 3 between Locutus and Purple Wave will be on the Moonglaive map, with Locutus the teal Protoss in the bottom right spawn, and Purple Wave the orange Protoss in the top mid. We're back in the remastered replay viewer here. We are trying to use this as much as we can for this cast. Since there's two of us, it does allow us to each have our own screen, whereas when we use the open replay viewer, we're stuck with just what the one person is looking at. So please bear with us while we try to deal with the potentially Purple Wave causing these desyncs here.
Yeah, believe me, it hurts us as much as it hurts you, if not more, because we even have to edit this together. Okay, let's slow this down a little bit and see what these boards are doing. Purple Wave, yet again, with the pylon on the low ground, or natural. And Locutus is...
Going for Dark Templar tech, it looks like.
Yeah, most certainly, but what is a little bit weird for me is Locutus not having any standing army.
Why?
No, one goon.
Purple Wave is getting air upgrade?
Yeah, he is.
Is he gonna go stove?
I don't know.
But wait, why
That
is he getting a
would be-
second gateway? Oh, I think he
That would
canceled
be
it.
funny.
I think he canceled the air upgrade. Oh, you know what? I bet it was a fake out. Maybe he wanted Locutus to think he was getting the goon range?
But did Locutus scout that?
Oh, he's got a forge now. Maybe he was going to go air and then saw he's going DT and changed up what he's doing.
I don't know, it was very weird.
Yeah, I was
In any case,
really thrown off by that.
and we are always on the lookout for weird things, but I don't think this was one of them. So Purple Wave defending quite well here. Locutus just sending in more DTs. Maybe you shouldn't do that when there are cannons.
Yeah, you've seen the cannons. I mean, maybe with those DTs, keep them out just so that way you force his army to sit back till he has detection, or mobile detection rather.
Yeah, you should wait until observers. So
Now Purple Wave is out with his own DT.
yeah, and there is no detection from Locutus's part, or is there? There is an
Nope.
observatory being
Okay.
built for Purple Wave, actually, not Locutus.
Yeah, Locutus started his forge just a little bit ago, but this DT is going to do some work here getting these probes.
So that natural is just cancelled, I think.
He's got 8, 9, 10. He's just ranking up the kill count right now.
Oh yeah, those DTs are really doing the
And-
work, and the drone probe transfer, I mean, is still going on. But No, we don't have an observatory from Locutus.
Yep.
Do we?
What's weird is trying to get rid of my unit display here. So he got the forge, but then he got no cannons.
Yeah, but oh, that was a cannon in at the natural that was just shut down.
Okay.
And the observatory is getting up, and
Yeah, he's getting an observer now.
yeah, another cannon shut down. A bunch of probes getting killed. That's a lot of economic damage for Locutus. And now we have an observer.
And so now he's moving out with it. Yeah, but Locutus down to 19 probes from that, so that's a lot of damage.
Interestingly enough, Purple Wave made a lot of zealots before making goons. This is the exact opposite as we saw so far. And yeah, the Locutus's army is at the natural, and I don't know what these zealots are doing. They are bunching up on the cannons.
They're just making sure that cannon, has good moral support. You're doing your job, buddy.
Maybe. I was gonna say they are dry humping it, but maybe that probably the thing you said.
Well, they also may have been trying to protect it in case any more DTs came in, so that way there was no spot for a DT to attack it. But there were no DTs coming.
Operation Human Shield, or rather Protoss Shield, yeah.
But now we have Purple Wave pushing Locutus back into his natural. I think he's got the army to actually take it here.
I'm not entirely sure, but the contain will go on, and yeah.
Well, let's speed this up
No,
just
you're
a
right.
just a
You're
little
right.
bit.
The natural is probably lost at this point.
I mean, he's reinforcing it enough, meanwhile taking a third too.
Yeah, the economy is just there, and meanwhile Locutus has none whatsoever.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
at the
he lost
natural.
so many probes to those initial DTs from Purple Wave that... Yeah.
Those probes should have been pulled. And there are no cannons back here as well, so... And yeah,
And with that,
is,
yep.
that is 2-0 to Purple Wave.
Or 2-1 for Purple Wave.
2-1 to Purple Wave, yes, you're right. This is the fourth match between Locutus and Purple Wave, and the score is 2-1 in favor of Purple Wave. And the map is Tau Cross now, which is a very nice map without any high ground shenanigans. And yep, we have the green Locutus and the, well, is it red or brown? I don't know, but one of those Purple Wave.
Yep. And it looks like we got early pylon from both of them, and scouting from Locutus going to the wrong base. Tau Cross is a 3-player map, so there's only one wrong base and a 1-on-1. And the probes meet and pass and wave at each other as they say hi.
Well, that's just polite. And it's very the natural entrance is very close, so you can just make a wall there. I don't think there is any benefit to making a wall in your main entrance. I mean, it's a little bit narrower, but still.
I think how Pan does the main wall. I think I've seen him do that on this map. But yeah, actually the natural might not be wallable for Terran on this. I forget. Just gonna try and float between 2 and 4 times for this matchup here.
Everything is wallable if you try hard enough.
If you build enough units and just hold position. So range is about to finish here for Locutus. Looks like Purple Wave is going for the Dark Templar tech. He's got 2 Zealots and now Goon coming to park out in front of Locutus's base.
Meanwhile, there is a robotics for Locutus. I don't know. Maybe that's for detection.
Yeah, the scout.
But do we have a forge actually?
I don't see one. No, we don't. Okay, that was Purple Wave that was getting it. Because, yeah, Purple Wave doesn't know what's going on, so he's getting a cannon just to be safe while getting the Dark Templar. And Locutus is just getting an observatory off the bat. I don't know if he saw the Citadel or not, because he did have a scout in there for a while. Meanwhile, he's pushing Purple Wave's little army back.
And Purple Wave is expanding, so this is the point when Purple Wave is most vulnerable. And we're not counting the DTs, of course.
An observer is
But
out now, so he's able to see those DTs.
yes, so at this point, Locutus can easily push in. And Locutus is doing exactly that. That didn't turn out that well for Locutus, and I think now Purple Wave can hold. The Dark Templars did a lot of damage on that choke point.
Yeah, I think
Nice retreat though.
I think if Locutus could have had his zealots in the front, he might have been able to do a bit more damage there, because they could have protected the goons from some damage.
Yeah, that's most likely. Locutus having a sizable army. But where is the observer? Didn't Locutus have an observer? Oh yeah, that is the observer.
Yep, it's with the army. And so again, he's chasing Purple Wave back to the natural.
And yet again, Purple Wave will hold, I think. And it's a 2 versus 1 base economy yet again, so Purple Wave will probably pull ahead in short time.
Yep, so Purple Wave here is pushing pushing Locutus back. This is a bit of a tug of war, where they keep pushing each other back and forth.
Yeah, tug of war of about 1 million goons. I don't know, he's so many blue soup today.
There's just a random Locutus drone, or Dragoon, behind Purple Wave's army that Purple Wave's just not doing anything about.
What do you mean? Yeah, that
Mr. Purple Wave, your bot, I believe, has desynced our replay again. So back into OpenBW we are, jumping right into the spot where we believe that the game desynced, which is right when Locutus was taking his natural, and Purple Wave was pushing into it.
And yeah, as we discussed before, Purple Wave yet again having the economic advantage. And although I feel that Locutus is trading a little bit favorably, maybe 1.5 goon for every goon lost or something like that, maybe a little bit lower, but still, Purple Wave is just seems to win these games on macro.
Yeah, Purple Wave is struggling a little bit with this like arc here that his goons want to take in order to engage, because it basically makes them conga line into Locutus's goons, but they're just kind of trading. I see a lot more blue goop on Purple Wave's side.
And Purple Wave changes up the unit composition that helps him a lot. The Zealots are a force multiplier in these engagements. And yeah, we see as soon as the Zealots engage, the traits are swinging in Purple Wave's direction, I should say.
Yeah, and we also have the High Templar now coming out. It's hard to tell if Purple Wave is expanding or not with the brown color on this map. I don't think he is yet, though. But he's slowly pushing Locutus back further and further into the natural and towards the main. And also getting the probe kills with the Zealots is really nice to see.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt Locutus a lot, because it's still 2 versus 1 base. And I think this is the no, actually, do we have a third base from Purple Wave? I think that's a third base from Purple Wave in the left to the main. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just started. Yeah. But either way, though, this game is now over. The Zealots really did turn the tide, and then when some of the Zealots were able to get to that middle line, Locutus doesn't pull them back. And that's going to be Locutus tapping out, dropping out of the tournament, making the final Purple Wave versus Beta Star.
Yep, and let's finally get to it.
And finally, the match we've all been waiting for, the finals of the tournament. We have Beta Star, who has remained in the winner's bracket as the blue Protoss in the top right, and Purple Wave, who has fought his way from the loser's bracket to make it to the finals. Purple Wave will actually have to win 2 best-of-5s if he's hoping to take the tournament, whereas Beta Star will only have to win this 1 best-of-5 if it wants to.
And it is right off the bat, it's a proxy 2 gate, I think. And let's slow this down to fastest speed because, yeah, the finals do deserve that kind of attention.
Definitely. And it looks like Beta Star, I believe, should have scouted that proxy. Kind of interesting to do a proxy on a 2-player map where the scouting is, you're probably going to get detected.
Then again, you always know the scouting path on a 2-player map, so these proxy gates could have been placed much better.
That's true. Yeah, they could have been up a little bit, or even down in like below the double bridges there.
Well, I just mean that outside of the projected vision path of the scouting probe.
True.
Okay, we can maybe speed this up a bit, and we don't want to lose anything, but it's
We can go up to 2 times.
difficult. Yeah, I mean, we most of the time we cast times 2 speed anyway, so I think that's fine.
And in response to the proxy, Beta Star did go and get some cannons to defend against it. And is also now getting a cyber core, it looks like. Now, I don't know if the Zealots could actually poke this gateway or not. They might not have a good spot based on the cannons, but I think they could on that far left side.
I think the gateway definitely, the cyber core maybe, and not much else. Maybe the pylon in the upper part, but clearly they are not considering doing any of this. And 3 cannons is pretty good defense, even especially combined with the probe drill that is potentially coming off the line.
And actually, just from that little engagement there where the Zealots chased the Dragoon, I think the gateway and the cyber core are actually protected.
Purple Wave is getting a goon range though, so I think Purple Wave has realized that okay, this is something that is maybe not working, and strangely enough, Beta Star is just expanding. So if you expand at this point, you are very vulnerable, and yeah, this naturally is just punished without any repercussion.
Yeah, it is good to see that Purple Wave was deciding to transition from the proxy to Dragoons, and I wonder if the proxy did enough damage to disrupt Beta Star's plan or not. It looks like he's going to be able to... Okay, maybe not. I thought he was going to be able to stabilize, and then he just kind of gave up 2 goons.
And yet again, worker transfer through the front line.
Yeah, if Purple Wave... Oh, he's going to expand. I was about to say, if Purple Wave doesn't expand and just keeps up unit production, he might have this pretty handily. But just as I was about to say that, he went and took his natural.
It was interesting to see that Purple Wave didn't really focus down this Nexus. I think that might have been a mistake.
Yeah, well,
it is very hard to focus now because there are constant army units streaming out. Although not much mining going on as well.
Well, one thing I will say in bot world, where the not focusing the Nexus may have helped Purple Wave, is that Beta Star just kind of kept sending 1 or 2 probes at a time to their doom because this Nexus is still up.
That's true, so Beta Star probably does not have a good probe sending logic.
Yeah, and the probe count was just slowly falling there. Now he's down to 16, where Purple Wave's up to 29, and he's able to now work up this ramp.
And Purple Wave is just in the base, killing your base, killing your dudes, and yeah, this is just, I would say, a foregone conclusion, but since this is the finals, we shouldn't say things like that.
Yeah, the cannons are still going to give Purple Wave, I think, a little bit of trouble, especially since he's concentrating on the probes, but I think long term, yeah, Purple Wave more than likely has the game at this point. And I feel like we should have that on a t-shirt or something. Like, you should copyright that idea, in your base, killing your dudes. That sounds catchy.
That's been done. I think that's been done before.
Quite possibly. So yeah, meanwhile, Purple Wave behind this, he is taking a third. And actually looking at the minimap, he's been scouting, making sure that Beta Star doesn't have like an expansion somewhere else, which is nice to see.
Purple Wave scouting has been on point throughout this whole series. I should say that, and Purple Wave leaves no base unscouted and keeps that up. And in the meantime, Beta Star is out, no workers, no resources, and this is the point when we can speed it up, as just killing your dudes might be entertaining for a while, but yeah.
Killing your buildings gets a little old.
Yeah, it's not much variety in this. So, first game goes to Purple Wave, and let's jump into the second. And it is the second match of the finals between Purple Wave and Beta Star. It is on La Mancha, I think, and Purple Wave with the yellow color in the top left corner, and on the opposite of the map, Beta Star being purple on the bottom right.
And we have Beta Star scouting up to the wrong base.
In the previous game, we saw Purple Wave winning with a proxy 2 gate opening, and I should say opening because that was not entirely what won the game for Purple Wave. So maybe Purple Wave is aiming to do that here, and the wrong scouting for Purple Wave as well.
Beta Star is the blue, so because Purple Wave in base gatewayed.
Neither player found out the other's base yet.
Yeah, I was confused because Purple Wave built the gateway in the main, and you're saying maybe he's gonna proxy. So I'm like, am I missing something?
Yeah. No, then he's not gonna proxy. I just missed that.
Okay, you had me thinking I missed something.
maybe it's an even bigger brain play. It's a delayed proxy, because that makes sense.
Well, that's what Locutus was doing before. He was delaying his proxy with the 3 gateways.
Yeah. Has science gone too far, do you think?
So we have the Dragoon popped out now for Purple Wave chasing the scout down. Purple Wave again getting the air weapons.
Yeah, that's strange. Maybe we will have a stove finally.
Nope. And it cancels. You know what?
And there was scouting going on, so this was a fake out.
Yep. Well, he's canceled at the moment that scouting probe was dead, so he's wants his opponent to think that range is already going.
That's like such a bot meta right now. I mean, I'm certain that humans do this. Don't get me wrong, but this is something that I don't think. I think in PvP, in bot PvP, it's going very strong.
Yeah, I mean, bot PvP really does come down to like what build order are you doing, how well are you executing it, are you responding to what your opponent is doing in terms of if they're getting DTs, do you need to suddenly switch to get detection? So I think PvP has a bit more mind games in the bot meta than some of the other matchups.
Absolutely, and bot players are getting DTs, I think. Or wait, does Betistar have a Templar Archives?
I don't think so. He's just going army with goons.
Yeah, I was confused by the Citadel for a moment, but Purple is definitely going for DT.
And Beta Star is getting the cannons now, though, because he has seen the Dark Templar.
Yeah, but we saw Beta Star just scared into his base by DTs, and the DT shuts down one cannon, but not the second.
Yeah, the Dragoons were able to position themselves to stop that second one from going down, which is going to keep Beta Star in this game a little bit longer.
Yeah, but the goons, I don't know if they will move up. I don't see robotics being built.
Yeah, they're probably going to hide until he's able to get that observer. But I don't see it underway anywhere.
Yeah, me neither. And interestingly enough, Purple Wave's Dark Templars now attack a building. Although that's a forge, so maybe they just only attack certain building.
Meanwhile, Purple Wave is defending his own cannon very strongly. Okay, now the army is moving out.
Yeah, I think it's time for moving out. And yeah, just containing Beta Star via the Boogeyman DT meta. That's trademarked. That's mine. You can't use it. And now the Goon train just comes in. And there are no brakes on the Goon train.
I don't know why the robotics facility was built out so far, but it got destroyed.
It's a proxy robotics facility.
And a proxy observatory too.
Yes. Like we said before, this is just science going wild. One bot shouldn't have this much brain power.
So once again, Purple Wave, we love your bot. It's replace, break, remaster still. So we're jumping right into about the spot where the desync happened. The RoboBay just blew up. The observatory is going to fall. That was oddly built in the natural, along with the proxy, quote-unquote, RoboBay. We have the big goon army here trying to push into the main of Beta Star.
Yeah, the world is just not ready for proxy observatories, I think.
And maybe that's what broke the replay. Or it could be Purple Wave's 25k APM.
Technology is just not there yet. Although we see a little bit of weird movement, regardless of these things, so it was hard to tell.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky with goons to tell when things are like goon broken or replay broken.
Yeah, because they are mentally challenged by default, so. So yeah, fighting up the ramp, yet again not an advantageous position, but I think Purple Wave is taking a third base to the right to its main, and a fourth a little bit down.
Yep.
Can we just take a quick look at those bases, how saturated they are? This is just in progress, and that too.
But I think long term, Purple Wave, regardless of how this battle goes, is going to have the money in the macro to just keep producing units and keep throwing them at Beta Star and keep Beta Star trapped in his base.
Mean is already getting low for Beta Star, so yeah, this will be more of the same, I think. And an Archon,
Hey, yeah.
that's new.
We haven't seen that yet. Yay!
Yeah, finally something new. And it goes in and kills a few.
Before blowing up.
Yeah, but I mean, an attempt was made. Do we have storms actually?
Oh, let me take a
Yeah, we do.
Yep, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we do. I just saw that. And eventually, Beta Star's resources will run out. And yes, RoboBay and Observatory is rebuilt, but at this point, why?
Yeah, like Beta Star's just really struggling and dealing with the aggression from Purple Wave. It feels like that aggression is just breaking what Beta Star wants to do, and it's not able to recover from that.
Yeah, Beta Star needs some adaptability in that regard. And the DP, tower.
Did you see that storm?
Nice. That was nice. I did.
So many probes just dead in an instant.
Basically, all but one, because all of them were bunched up on that last mineral patch. And yeah, this is the mop-up phase, and I think that's the game going 2-2 in favor of Purple Wave.
So jumping into game 3 here of the finals, Beta Star Purple Wave. We have Beta Star on the bottom right spawn of Roadrunner as the red Protoss, and Purple Wave is the teal Protoss in the top left spawn. We're going to go ahead and stick with OpenBW viewers since Purple Wave seems to have broken many of the ones that we've watched with him in it. So it'll just be easier if we, and I think less jarring if we stick with OpenBW for the rest of this cast.
I concur. And yes, the tactic seems to be, well, I can't really infer from this many buildings, but Cybercore for both bots and no quick expansion. Nice
Scouting got denied there.
Scouting.
Yeah.
But that only took 2 hits. Where did the third hit come from?
I think we might have just like zoomed in after the first hit had landed.
That's possible, or maybe the other scouting probe just buzzed it a little bit.
Gave it a little love tap.
And yes, the shock of love. There was a song called Love Shock. Was it Love Shack or Love Shock? I don't know.
There definitely
So,
was one Love Shack. I don't remember one called Love Shock. Not to
maybe
say
I'm
that there wasn't
confusing
one
the two.
called that, though.
Yeah, we can't know for sure. In the meantime, the armies are pretty evenly matched, but Beta is just plopping down a lot of gateways. Well, three of them to be exact. And in the meantime, I think Purple Wave was going for yes, Purple Wave is going for DTs. And do we have any kind of detection?
We do have
Oh,
2 cannons coming down for Beta Star. Meanwhile, this Dragoon here is just kind of slogging away at this
not being really
gateway.
bothered by anyone.
And even still, as a Dragoon approached, it just kind of ran away, never got attacked.
He just got out. Just okay, I'm out of here.
They're like, hey, cut it out. We'll put you in timeout. And he went, okay, and just kind of ran away.
Okay, this time we let you go, but
Come back again and we'll show you. So the DT now is in Beta Star's main.
doing the scaring yet again.
Yep, wants to get to those probes, I guess, but the cannons are stopping and not taking the time to attack the gateways.
Same old, same old.
So we do have the Robo Bay coming down, and then we'll probably see the observatory.
Not proxied this time.
Meanwhile, Purple Wave is expanding behind this. And
The DTs do not kill the goons, which is new, because previously we saw Purple Wave's DTs, well, not doing this, but at least hitting the goons when they are right next.
I think one of the DTs fell by getting a little bit too close, probably due to the unit collisions there.
Yeah, these goons are unintentionally body slamming and them into cannon range, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're also trying, it looks like they took 1 or 2 swipes at this forge, but I think it's just in vision range. So that's a really good SimCity there. Oh, and now the observer's out. And just that
And
stop and attack.
It's just over. I wonder if Purple Wave has the army to block this counterattack, and he probably has the army to counterattack, although I don't know what they are doing. Probably having...
He's disguising his numbers by having them stacked on each other like this.
yeah. It's just, I don't even know what phenomenon I could compare this to.
They're multiplying.
Maybe a bunch of hornets punching up on something.
And Purple Wave is really struggling with the Dragoon control right now and was trying to go
Yeah.
across the bridge and just couldn't.
And it just gets worse as the tournament progresses. Maybe this is like a negative learning or something.
Nope.
It's when the learning makes your goons dumber.
And one thing I like is that Purple Wave is definitely way ahead in the gateway count. So he definitely can turn this around if he can get his army control and get across this bridge, which it looks like he might be able to do here, actually.
Otherwise, supply and work. Well, supply is not anymore, but worker count is almost exactly the same, or was a second ago. But pretty evenly matched at this point, I think. So the derps cancel each other out, it seems.
Yeah, I think Purple Wave got a bit lucky there coming across that bridge because Beta Star broke his concave and then tried to go across the other bridge, and that just didn't work out well for Beta Star.
And yet again, Purple Wave having the Goon and Zealot composition, it will help Purple Wave tremendously. That is, if the Zealots can engage before actually firing. But that's kind of sort of happening.
It also helps too that I don't think Beta Star fired like a single shot there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, Beta Star's Goon micro is well, a little bit lacking. Now they stop and fire and kill 1 or 2 zealots, I think. But yeah, this is the mop-up. And if Purple Wave wins this, which is very likely at this point, that means that we have to do another round of 5, because Purple Wave was advanced from the loser's bracket.
Yep, this will be the first elimination for Beta Star, so he'll get another crack at Purple Wave to try and take the title for the tournament. Meanwhile, just a quick comment, behind this attack, Purple Wave has again taken 2 more expansions. And I think there's just an observer chilling over here. Just chilling.
I mean, I would do that too.
I was wondering what that red dot was.
Screw you guys, I'm out of here.
Well, I guess there's nothing to detect right now because there's two also just sitting in the main.
Yeah, my work is done here, right?
We'll go ahead and speed this up to four times for the moment.
There is always a possibility of purple wave bugging out or glitching out, and but that is not what's happening. And the first elimination goes to purple wave. And since it's a double elimination bracket, let's have the second round of 5 or best of 5.
So on to the finals match 2 between Purple Wave and Beta Star. Purple Wave, again, since he came from the losers bracket, getting that first elimination on Beta Star, so Beta Star gets a second chance here to take the title of the tournament. We have Beta Star, the green Protoss, in the bottom right, and Purple Wave, the teal Protoss, in the top left, so very similar colors. Prepare to have some confused casters.
As the casters weren't confused enough already, and maybe a little bit tired. So yes, this is the finalist of rounds, and yet again a best of 5. And let's slow this down to 2 times speed. It seems that Purple Wave... Oh, wait, no, Beta Star is the one who is making the Citadel. See, confusion, right there. There, we told you.
Yeah, and wonder what Purple Wave's going to go for here, because he did go 1 gate Cyber Core. It looks like he's getting a Citadel now, but just getting it later. So Beta Star is going for a very quick DT this time.
And there is nothing scouted, I believe.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there.
Again, with these colors, it's hard to tell, but that goon would have probably attacked the scouting probe already.
Yeah, so Purple Wave is not aware of the DT tech that's coming his way, meanwhile trying to get his own. And I like, too, that both of them are getting a Forge after getting their Templar Archives.
And the Beta Star even plopping down some cannons, so Beta Star is both using DTs and defending against them, so that's some big brain tactics. And 2 cannons from Purple Wave as well. Are those 2 cannons, and will they be complete in time?
Looks like they are going to complete just in time. He does see the DTs. His DTs are out now.
But they don't engage the enemy army.
Yeah, Beta Star was attacking the army there, knowing that he can't get in due to the cannons.
And I think pretty much the same will happen on the other side of the map.
Most likely, yeah, they're just arriving now. Oh, actually, they're going to wreak a little bit of havoc here.
Yeah, because they can kill the natural. Yeah. Well, if that's not and that's not a cannon there. That was a mistake. Now that's a cannon, but they will shut it down. So yeah, it's no natural for you, Mr. Beta Star.
Yeah, we saw, so the difference here, we saw Purple Wave got his cannons at the natural without even having an expansion there, where Beta Star got his cannons in the main while getting an expansion at the natural. So now we've got the probe slaughter going on.
And now Purple Wave's DTs attack the enemy army. And I don't know what's happening, because in previous games they sometimes didn't attack the goods. Now they do. Well, maybe there is some prioritization issue going on.
Yeah, it could be because they're seeing themselves attacking like an expansion. They're not looking for tech to destroy. So they're just going after probes, then army, then buildings.
In any case, Beta Star has 3 workers left.
Meanwhile, yeah, there's no production going on for Beta Star right now. Meanwhile,
no.
Large production queue going on for Purple Wave.
Yeah, Beta Star's economy is just non-existent. Still trying to recover, but yeah, this is over.
The Beta Star could have recovered if he had not sent a bunch of probes to their doom. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up here. It was great to see Beta Star try something different, too. If Purple Wave had placed his cannons differently, I think this game could have played out very, very differently. So that was really good positioning by Purple Wave there.
Yeah, worker transfer through the front lines is not the best. Imagine getting a guy to fix your sink and, okay, but you have to go through the fields of Verdun first. Yeah, not the best.
So Purple Wave starting off the second matchup here in the finals, 1-0.
And this is the second game of the finals, the second part of the double elimination bracket, best of 5 between Purple Wave and Beta Star. The map is yet again La Mancha.
We have Purple Wave, the teal Protoss in the top right, being scouted already by the blue Protoss Beta Star, who's started in the bottom right, and does not have a pylon in his... I mean, he's going for a fast expand, it looks like, which is something we haven't seen yet in our PvP games here we've casted.
Not really, and I think that's a wall off as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good wall layout.
Maybe positioning a zealot. Oh yes, positioning a zealot there would make it a complete wall. Nicely done.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to see how this one plays out. How Purple Wave deals with that wall.
I mean, DTs could still work. DTs all the way.
It depends on how many cannons. If he just stops at the 2, they'll probably hold the DTs back.
My tired eyes didn't register that cannon. Yeah, so DTs is not an option then. Purple Wave also taking the opportunity to expand, so maybe we will see a little bit longer back row game here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of this Purple Wave actually scouted, but I suspect he sees the wall and knows, okay, I'm probably safe to expand, because I don't think my opponent's going to be getting a large army. But he hasn't expanded behind this.
No, and that might be a mistake, because if you're gonna secure your expansion, then you damn well should take that expansion. And in the meantime, Purple Wave is just making robotics, and I think this might be a preparation for a drop. And we will probably see some reverse, it seems.
Yeah, probably a Reaver drop or something along those lines, unless he just goes for macroing up a large army with shuttle Reavers.
Could be just a Reaver taxi, but I think if you have a wall, a drop is a good counterplay here. And Beta Star finally taking the natural.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that didn't happen sooner with the quick wall there.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the whole point of having a quick wall?
I mean, I would think so, unless you're expecting maybe like quick DT play from your opponent. Maybe you build this wall to protect against that, but then you would be getting quick gateways to pump an army or quickly going to Observer.
Yeah, but what's the disadvantage of expanding at that point? I think that's one of the best options you can have.
Yeah, I mean, I still agree that expanding is the best solution there. I'm just trying to think of something else that you would do instead of expand.
Yeah, good point. Maybe tacking up heavily, I don't know.
And then here we did have the Reaver taxi happening, but quickly being shut down by Beta Star.
Yeah, what's about that? I mean that Shuttle could have escaped. And now the production is going wide for both players. And is Purple Wave taking a third base in the top middle? Yeah, he kind of hard to see with these colors. And yeah, since we are using OpenBW, I'm just looking at a low resolution screen share, so it's even harder.
Yeah, and again, that's why we were trying to use Remaster so much, but just with the amount that it was breaking with the 13,000, and we've seen even spikes of up to 25 and 26,000 APM of Purple Wave, Remaster just couldn't handle it. It's not ready yet.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, the shuttle, yeah, you shouldn't go towards the anti-air.
Beta Star's getting pushed back here, though, by Purple Wave. This might, again, come down to just Purple Wave having the larger base count and being able to... Oh, and the shuttle got taken out with the Reaver in it.
It seems that the Reavers are not as effective as they could be. But the goon count is, well, seems to be kind of equal.
Purple Wave's army count is higher. I'm trying to see where it is, though. Well, the Reavers, I think, are 4 supply. So...
Yeah, and Purple Wave has a 3 base economy, while Beta Star is having a hard time expanding, or will have a hard time expanding if it decides to lose.
It's also having a hard time deciding what it wants to do with its army because it's doing a lot of dancing between this natural and this bridge here.
And that's kind of true for Purple Wave as well.
And actually, you're right. Yeah, the Dragoon count is higher for Beta Star, but I think it's those two Reavers that are kind of skewing. Well, now one Reaver that's skewing that army count down at the bottom.
Yeah, but the Reavers are not that effective here. I'm doing some damage.
But then having a certain number of duds that are firing out of there too.
Yeah, they don't really have a clean line of fire, and that's important. If you can position something between the Scarab and the target, you can dud the Reaver shutout, and that is what is happening here, although not really intentionally.
Yeah, now we're starting to see both players mixing in Zealots into the army. However, Purple Wave is going heavier with the Zealots as he does have leg speed.
And I think Purple Wave is starting to take a forward base at the top left. Is that a base? Yes. Yep. Oh, that's not even starting.
He's starting to get more gateways up there now.
Yeah, that's the good decision, because I think the production output is pretty much the same at this point, but Purple Wave can afford to put out more.
You know,
and
or go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with these pylons outside.
That is a bit strange to see. I think part of what might be causing Beta Star a lot of problems here, from what I've observed of it in this tournament, is it seems to have a lot of logic about, okay, I see my opponent has 3 bases, I'm going to kill that 3rd base. Oh, I see it's got 4 bases, I'm going to kill that 4th base. Like, it really wants to kill expansions. Purple Wave has denied the scouting very hard for Beta Star, where it doesn't know that he has those other bases. So the army, I mean, I don't know why this DT is getting tons of kills right now. And there seems to be a bit of army here blocking these goons from getting out. But I feel like that denial of scouting is really hurting Beta Star's logic.
Yeah, and the DT is basically not getting hindered in any way. And finally, Purple Wave's army can move in. Oh, and that's a storm that you can't escape. There is nowhere to...
There is just so much going on the screen right now.
Yeah, it's just brute force. It's just brute force all the way. Reaver shots, Death Templars. This is the height of PvP, ladies and gentlemen.
Just look at the army count, the amount of different units that Purple Wave has too right now.
It's just the build where you press all the buttons in the production buildings and then aim into the enemy.
So this reminds me of the days when my bot would struggle against, what was it, Aurelian Larment, I think it was, where because my bot would sit back and then that bot would just take all the expansions and then just keep flooding in units from all those bases. I feel like we're seeing that a little bit here from Purple Wave.
Yeah, it's a little bit reminiscent of tower defense, to be honest. So, or one of those horde games like Untitled or something. Except everything is Protoss, so it's infinitely worse.
Yeah, definitely a valiant try here from Beta Star rather, but I think Purple Wave now at this point is just running away with this game.
I should say that Purple Wave definitely needs some improvement on Reaver Micro, because I don't think the Reavers are really efficiently trading here. Well, at this point they do, because they are not fired upon, but yeah, that's kind of the point when if the enemy is not firing back, every trade is efficient. That's the big thing for today.
Right, and with that, Purple Wave will jump up 2-0 in the finals match 2, and we'll go ahead and jump into game 3. So into the final, or potentially the final game here, as Beta Star has to fight for its life to stay in the tournament with Purple Wave up 2-0. We've got Beta Star, the orange Protoss, in the bottom right, and Purple Wave, the blue Protoss, in the top right. And the map is Circuit Breakers.
Yes, welcome to the finalist game of this series. This has been a long tournament and a long cast, I should say. And yeah, we are seeing a wall here, and I want to thank each and everyone, every bot author that participated, even if you got eliminated in the very first round. Your work makes this scene possible and our entertainment going. So thanks for your good work and hours of fun you provided to us and to the community as well.
And just
And
a quick note,
yeah,
too, that we don't know necessarily that this is the final game, but this is potentially the final game, which is why we're saying things such as that.
yeah. Well, we can say nice things for the remaining three games potentially as well. But yeah, as Nightcat just said, we don't know if this is the final game. But since five games were won by Purple Wave at this point, we have a pretty good guess.
Yeah, and especially we're seeing the same builds from the last game. We're seeing Purple Wave going with the Goon Reaver build, and Beta Star trying the wall again. Although I think he might have got his natural a little bit faster this time. Seeing these similar builds, I'm suspecting that this is probably going to turn out similar, but we shall see.
And yes, indeed, the Wolof is similar, only the map is different, and we have the derp shuttle with the derp caterpillar thing. How is it called? River. And and yes, this is turning out a little bit different, although, because Purple Wave builds different things. The river seems to be a little bit more efficient here.
Yeah, I think Purple Wave cleared Beta Star's army a little bit easier this time, and so the Reaver was able to do some damage to those cannons.
I feel the river is a little bit more earlier. I think in the last game the river got out after a lot more goals, and it pays off as this composition seems to be more efficient, and Betastar has just no answer to it. I think Purple Wave just kept trying to get a DT in all together and found the right composition at the right time.
Yeah, and it looks like Beta Star here is just bleeding workers, bleeding. Yeah, wow, this was a much faster game than I was. Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a question at any point, I think. Purple Wave moved in and, well, it's not technically over yet, but come on. Purple Wave just moved in and mopped it up. And I don't think, do you think that was any kind of doubt at any point at this game?
I mean, yeah, I didn't. Well, I certainly didn't think, especially while Purple Wave has pulled ahead in every game, it's definitely been a close contest up to like a pivotal point in the match. Um, this was just right out the gate. I wasn't expecting this.
No, no, no. There were some close calls, and I wasn't sure that Purple Wave was gonna win in every game. But this time, yeah, it's just as clear cut as it gets. And no expansion, no nothing, no workers, no hope.
And soon to be no buildings.
Yes. And with that, no more SSCAIT 2019 as well, because this was the last final game of this series, and the championship title goes to Purple Wave. Congratulations, Purple Wave, and congratulations to everyone who participated. Thanks again for your hard work, and see you next year.
As Sanka says, thank you to all of the authors that submit, and thank you to all of the bots and authors that participate in the round robin in addition to the elimination round here. I also have a bot that participates in the tournament. It's never made it to the elimination round, but it's always great to see new upcoming bots enter the scene. As we've been doing these casts, I think there have been a couple of new bots that have joined the ladder. Excited to see them and participate in the next year as well. And see, how they're able to do. Getting fresh blood on the scene is always amazing.
And as a closing thought, we would like to say a very big thanks, not just the two of us, but all of the community, to Nepeta, who is stepping down as a caster of these games. He's been doing this for a long time, and his cast brought us a lot of joy and entertainment. We are sorry to see him go, but it is completely understandable. But Nepeta, if you ever want to come back, there are absolutely no obstacles to that. And thank you for the years of hard work. And we hope that we can fill your shoes.
And we wish you nothing but the best in your future.
That's true. I feel we will never look at storms the same way as you do, and we will never celebrate mine hits as well. But we will certainly try.
And so, once again, with that, we come to the conclusion of the tournament with Purple Wave taking the win, falling to the losers bracket in the round 3 of the winners, and then fighting his way back to the finals and taking it in 2 matchups against Beta Star.
Thanks for watching everything. I've been Shonko, and goodbye.
And I've been Nightcat, and have a good night.